The following contains spoilers for Persona 5, so viewer discretion is advised. Futaba Sakura is a 15-year-old tech prodigy who hacks things for fun in her spare time. Despite her social anxiety and past bouts of depressive episodes, she's a bubbly and passionate young woman who is comfortable with her strengths. She's the only person with a palace who asks for the Phantom Thief's help, exhibiting that corrupted desires do not have to include evil towards others. It is in my opinion that her desire is suicide, perhaps with no active suicidal plans, but passive suicidal ideation. That is to say, she wants to cause harm to herself. In the mental health sector, passive suicidal ideation essentially means either contemplating suicide or even just an apathetic approach to not wanting to live any longer. It's something that should be monitored closely, as this can shift into the active realm quite quickly. And as a PSA, if you're relating to this and you need someone to talk to, I put some resources in the video description and I encourage you to check them out. Futaba's distorted desires, as well as her anxiety, stem from the same place: her self-blame. One of the criteria for PTSD is blaming yourself or others for things outside of you or their control, and I think this comes from a coping mechanism. There was nothing Futaba could do to help her mother, and she's intelligent enough to realize that something was suspect in her mother's death. Her mind protected herself from accepting that such an evil existed in the world by convincing her that she was evil. Even if it destroyed her inside, it gave her a sense of control over the circumstances of her mother's death. But, as the shadow of Futaba eventually revealed, Futaba knew deep down that other people were behind her mother's death, and that subconsciously may have contributed to her struggles. See, although she is able to be rehabilitated into leaving her room and not hearing auditory hallucinations, which is a symptom of both severe depression and complex PTSD, she still has to cope with exploring a world that isn't safe. Futaba was teased in elementary school, as revealed through social links, and found it difficult to make friends. It therefore made it that much harder for her after her mother's death. She had to learn from a very young age the lesson that the world isn't safe. And as much as we may think about this on a conceptual level from childhood, it isn't until we experience it ourselves that we fully understand this. When it's experienced at an age when we aren't emotionally ready to handle that lack of security, it's hard to overcome. But by devoting herself to her own rehabilitation, Futaba is slowly able to overcome her fears. Lastly, I would like to note that although Futaba warmed up quickly to the Phantom Thieves, this isn't necessarily out of character. They spent a large amount of time showing her that they aren't threatening. She has stalked them already and cleared them as good people, and they're trusted by Sojiro. But I do appreciate that it takes much longer for Futaba to open up around others, even with her pushing and trying. It shows that this isn't an easy process that is fixed in an hour-long sitcom feel-good special. Futaba gets a lot of flack for being overly childish, but I personally see this as enthusiasm for the things she enjoys. And I think it's quite beautiful, after all the pain she's experienced, that she is able to love wholly and see the world for its enchantment. Rather than a vice, I think we can all learn to incorporate that enthusiasm into our everyday lives. So if you like this video, like it and please subscribe. And if you want to see other videos, they're all here. So yeah, thanks.